Hi everybody, welcome back to Enjoying Retirement. Got a special trip today. I'm headed up to Tonopah, Nevada to do turquoise mining at the world famous Royston Turquoise. Hey, we're going to pass Area 51 along the way, along with the Nevada Nuclear Test Site and the eastern entrances to Death Valley. It's a 220-mile trip, takes about 3.5 hours. Really not a whole lot to see along the way. But that's okay. Once you get to Tonopah, you're going to find a town that was founded in 1900, and it is the site of the second richest silver strike in Nevada. It's home to about 2,000 people now, and at elevation of about 6,000 feet, which makes it quite a bit cooler than Las Vegas. Home to the Mizpah Hotel and one of the few remaining A&W root beers, if you remember that. There's also old mining cabins and several mining museums and parks in the area. Well, we're going to get on with it. We're going to meet at Giggle Springs gas station next to the Mizpah, and then we're going to head out for about a 30-minute ride up to the mine itself. Now, I paid for a day and a half there, and along the way I saw this very unique shimmer in the sky there. Well, that is the Crescent Dune solar energy power. It creates about 110 megawatts of power with mirrors heating up salt. It is molten salt that can then be stored and deliver energy for about 10 additional hours overnight time. Unique concept. And if you're not expecting it, it's quite a sight to see. Well, we're getting close to the mine. If you've ever driven out west, you know the roads can get dusty. You got to remember, this is a real mine. It's not Disneyland. So if you go, I recommend a high clearance vehicle. Yeah, four-wheel drive is good, not really needed unless it's been raining and muddy, but a good high clearance vehicle will make you feel more comfortable getting up there. All right, all around you are the mine tailings, and that's what you're going to be going through. You're not going to be in any of the actual active pits, and you're going to stay away from all the wall faces. But you... within limits, you can go through the tailings and keep everything you collect for one low daily or half daily fee. It's quite the deal, as you're going to see here in a moment. All right, so let's get parked. Here's your first view when you get there. Mine tailings everywhere. Got an active face to the right of you. Can't go down there, or any other active vertical faces. Got to stay away. This is a low operation mine, so don't expect fences and other things you might see at a larger mine site. Pretty good view. See that light out there? That's the solar energy plant we just passed. Now, the question for me was, okay, people have been coming here for about 15 years digging. Is there anything left? Well, what do they do? Is it worth it? Well, we're going to get into all of those questions pretty soon. But here's what you're looking at. Stay away from the vertical faces, and you can go through all this rubble to your heart's content. The only thing that's going to limit you is the guidance they give you, the tools you have, and how much energy and enthusiasm you have for the job. So this was filmed over about a day and a half, and this is my first morning. There's an open pit right there. You can't go in there, but I'm going to pick the side of the hill right here and just get to work. And this is what you're going to be looking at. The good news is when we were there, you could tell it had rained in the not too distant past, so the surface dust was cleared off, which is pretty crucial to finding turquoise. It really helps. All right, so I've got my bucket. First thing I put on, I'm going to put on knee pads. My knees are a little bit too old to be kneeling in rock all day long. And anyway, hey, it was my 66th birthday this day. What a birthday present for myself. All right, there's my tools. I've got a spray bottle of water. It really helps making the blue pop out against all the stone. You can see some right there. That's clearly just on the surface. Not going to be useful for making jewelry. Great for taking home if you want to get some rocks for the garden, but I flew in, so whatever I get out of here, I have to take back on an airplane. Not even 10 minutes in, and I find this. What a beautiful piece of turquoise. That comes close to paying my daily fee just there by itself. Found another little piece right here. Let's take a look at it. Remember, even the little pieces are good for earrings and things like that, so don't discount them. This piece right here is just surface turquoise. Still not really good for anything that I use, so I put it away. Keep digging. Got another piece here. That's the other thing. You're going to find a lot of chalky turquoise there. So that's not altogether useful to me either. Great if you want to just keep samples, various turquoise. Keep it. Great. Keep digging. I use my rock pick here, but actually for most of the day, I used a hand trowel, a hand rake for the garden. There's another beautiful piece that would make a nice ring, a small pendant, or a great earring. You're going to be sorting through a lot of rock. And like I said, the only thing that's going to limit you is your energy, your tools available, and really how much you want it. And I wanted it. So I put a lot of work in to get what I got. Make sure you get a Homer bucket. And this little spray can I had, $8 at Home Depot, it worked out fantastic. So I'm collecting pretty much everything I think is useful. I can always sort it out later, but I'm digging through this little hillside here, and I probably dug down about 9 inches, and gravity helped the hill come to me quite a bit, and I also went up it. Got to be careful when you're digging. Make sure that you don't undermine any large rocks or anything you don't want coming down your way, because it's easy to do. Everybody else kind of leaves you alone. They're off in their area. This is my area. I figured I was in a pretty good spot when Tom, our guide, told me, hey, you know what? Nobody's ever dug over there. I said, well, that's my kind of spot. So here we go. You're not going to see everything over 12 hours that I was digging. That'd get really boring, but there's something special I want to show you coming up that we're going to spend quite a bit of time on. And I am finding quite a few little pieces. Whether they'll be solid enough to make jewelry out of, we'll see in the long run. But boy, what a great way to spend the day. Temperature was about 80 degrees or so. It was sunny. It's pretty windy, so I was glad I had a dust mask on for some of it. A tip here, make sure you have you're looking at the rocks in the sun. You're not casting your own shadow on the rocks. That makes, oh, look at that piece. That's going to be beautiful. It's got that dark brown matrix, light blue to green color, which Royston is famous for. Well, just keep on digging. You can see I've already picked up quite a few pieces. I like to make jewelry for family and friends. Even a small piece like that, I said, hey, it might come in handy for a small earring or as part of a larger set of turquoise. So I'm just having a blast here. Make sure you bring plenty of water and your own food.
So I'd like you to tell me if you think it's worth me breaking up.
And
all right, well, I was trying to save you a hike.
and this is what we're going to spend quite a bit of time looking at. I cannot believe I found this.
And then we've got what looks like a seam up top too, like a 3/16 quarter-inch seam.
Oh, it comes out on, yeah, see, it comes out here. I don't know how the heck you can break it though.
Yeah,
This is that hard.
that's that hard stuff.
Gray rock up top. You can't. You don't
Damn.
want to hit it this way because you're gonna break the vein up. You gotta hit it down. Trying to break it in smaller pieces that you can handle.
Yeah, it could be. It's a beautiful seam.
Oh yeah, it's a big one. That vein runs all the way through. It's just getting that vein out.
Doesn't show up well here on camera, but that's a 3/16
right
to
here.
a quarter-inch seam going right through the middle of that
A lot
rock.
of damn work.
Yep.
Previously, Tom had told me there's 2 types of rocks out there. One's relatively soft, easy to work with, and the other is hard.
Yep. Right where I was thinking, upside down.
and will dull your blades pretty quickly. Well, I happened to find one of the hard ones. I also happened to be talking to another couple there and knew that they had brought a full-size sledgehammer with them because they got to drive up.
Yep.
Well, that's all just paint. But it has a dark blue seam about a 1/4 inch thick running
Don't want to
going.
hit it dead on.
Well, I see we've got more on the surface here. I'm thinking let's try to break this edge off and see what we can see on the inside of that.
So I enlisted my newfound friends with their
I'm thinking
sledgehammer,
if we hit this, it may
and we
split
worked
right
on this
there.
together.
It's got some good surface on it.
Try not to hit it too hard.
You guys, as much as I can, let's take a look.
What do you got?
Did we get into that seam?
Using sledgehammers on delicate turquoise is not the common way of doing it, but hey, when you got to carry this stuff back on an airplane,
that's just paint.
you can't take the rock with you.
That, but
It sure looks pretty.
we got a piece right here
Yeah.
that's doable. And look where we are. That got us right down to the seam.
So what do you think our next one? What do you?
Well, let me take the smaller mallet. Let's start collecting pieces for further processing.
Oh,
This is what I'm really
this has
interested
that metal in it from the rust. Look at that.
There's a lot of iron in this rock that creates the rust, which also helps create that beautiful
that
golden
seam sort of fell
brown
apart
matrix
right
that you
there.
see sometimes in Royston turquoise.
But be careful, the sucker's heavy.
Yeah, that's because it's full of metal. It's full of metal.
I mean, I think if...
Metal on this.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if I had driven there, I would have
it's
taken
the
care
same
of this
seam.
rock in a much different
we got
fashion.
the one big seam and then a couple little
So,
ones.
okay.
But
What
I
do
knew
we
I
have
had
on
to
this
get it
end?
back home on an airplane,
What do you think
so
about this?
Yep.
Let me go back to physics school.
Yeah.
we tried to beat it up.
What I want to break this piece off before we shatter it.
See that little piece of blue right there?
got
It
it.
might come
That
down.
is part of the seam.
So-
That whole seam is
have a
like that.
fracture here.
That's why I'm spending so much time on this. And that is good, hard, natural turquoise.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. And I
And a
hate to
lot of
say
this
it, but-
turquoise runs underneath that rust.
No. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's going to be going through the whole thing.
It doesn't feel like we took any weight out of that.
See, now the good news for you is you get to drive home. If nothing else, I would take this whole doggone, whatever's left of what we don't get, take home.
Yeah. Of course, you get it, but.
So my new
Obviously,
friends
this one-
are just getting in
But if
to
we get it down to
silversmithing.
manageable
They
sizes,
both come from a
we'll split it
silversmithing
up,
family and are looking for
we
things
can
to
each
do in
spend however
retirement.
much, but you can straight
And hey,
home.
I'm already
I'll be
enjoying
somewhere.
retirement, so I'm going to liberally share this with them.
Yeah, get it stable and then do your thing.
Let's try to. I'm gonna hit it dead on the seam, not one side of it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Boy, that breaks my heart to see a sledgehammer to turquoise. I know I'm going to fracture it, but I really don't have any other alternatives
A little
here.
bit of paint there, maybe.
Well,
See that? See
I don't know,
see
let me
that blue?
borrow your
That is a seam of turquoise running underneath that cap right there.
Yeah, that's paint, but
but I think
That's
it's
some
paint through
beautiful
this side.
turquoise
I
right
get this-
there.
look at this.
You can't see
this is
much
the
of
type
it
of stuff
on
where you're
video,
gonna get
but
the
that's an
beautiful
entire
matrix in
seam section of a seam.
Oh, I can see a seam piece already showing. Yep.
Oh yeah, look at that on this side. There you go.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, there's a whole seam of that right there.
Yep.
We're making progress. Yep, that is the seam. That and it goes all the way around.
Some material here, but that's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
it's the
primary
seam
seam, and then there's
where
some
we're going
smaller
to get some
seams
beautiful
of
stuff.
really beautiful
we-
green
okay, what if-
Take
turquoise
that
in
edge
this
off
rock.
first. Yep, I'm with you. Oh, there we go. We got a crack.
Hey, I
Let's see
recognize
what we
this may
got.
not be everybody's way of
Look at the
spending
bottom
their
of that.
birthday,
That
but it is for
that's
me.
gold. You want that piece?
I love it.
There you go.
Fish, can you come?
Help me. I found our retirement plan, baby.
And look at that green. And
Yeah, see, that's it. There's a couple real nice chunks in this piece.
Yep. And there's more at this layer.
All right, so back to breaking this guy up.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. There we go.
I would have liked to
That
have done
should
this
be the
differently, but
Oh,
hey,
holy. All right, that's mostly paint though, but
flyers can't be choosers.
that is good. No, that's turning to paint.
Get down here. That's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a little soft. That's softer than the other one.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this. Don't give up. At the end of this, I'm going to cut one of the little shards that came off and show you the type of turquoise we're getting out of this.
That'd be a hell of a yard art, though. Isn't that?
Well, this would be for sure, but
And like I said, a lot of that rust is covering up the turquoise underneath it.
Yep.
There's
I mean,
a
they're
good
this-
eighth,
that is a
3/16
good
quarter-inch layer
chunk
of
right there.
turquoise that you can kind of see the edge of if you look carefully. Sorry, the camera's on
sticky.
my head, so
Really?
you're seeing where
it's just
I
light
look.
colored, huh?
Yeah. Look here.
Yep. Now look at that. That should be a good. All right.
Got a hell of a lot of turquoise.
How do we do that?
That's where I'm saying that gray rock is so damn hard that.
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't there a vein? Oh no, we got.
Oh,
the
there.
vein.
No. There. This is all turquoise right here too, and that's the really deep royal blue stuff.
Okay.
How deep that
You
goes?
might have to use a little bit of your pension, Tom, and just mail that home.
Yeah.
For a while, I did
All
think
right.
about packaging that
And
up with UPS.
whatever's left over, you guys take home.
And we're out having a hoot, so you just
But then I realized
So
that
I
that
appreciate
didn't
what
weigh
we
the
got so
40,
far.
50 pounds I thought. That's probably more like
No,
90.
we still got the seam to work on, but I think I can crack.
Here, I'm gonna chisel. Here it comes. Okay, stop.
Oh
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
no, but look how thick that is. If we can get it.
Chisel really didn't work on this rock. It is just too hard.
That's best you can do. Something like the way we do it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
Right.
But I would pound on the top, like here. See if
Tom, our guide,
Here
as
or
I
here?
said, he was very helpful
Yep.
working with us to get the
all we're
most
gonna
out of
do
this that we could.
Right.
I really enjoyed my
then
time
you
with
just try to
Tom.
pop
As
all
I
this
said, I
off,
was there
try
for
to
a day and a
fracture
half, so
the rock to make it
we
just-
got to talk quite a bit.
front half fall off.
I enjoyed it. Thank you, Tom.
Something's gonna give somewhere.
Yep.
I can feel. You can feel it when he's hitting on it. You can feel the shock wave in it a bit.
Same spot or move along the line. There we go.
you go.
Something broke.
He's just gonna. You're getting some kind of. I can feel it coming. And that's pretty much how it's going to keep breaking off. It's only going to be as thick as it is.
Yeah, it's just deceptive as to how thick it is.
You don't have a choice. But what broke off? See, what broke off was here and here. Yeah, that's the chunk.
Right.
This
That's
is all
what we
one chunk
want.
right here.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get this whole. It's just the only thing I can kind of. I mean, you can trim.
Trust me. So what I decided to do was I wanted to keep going through the pit or through the debris the rest of the day, and I figured I'd take that back to the hotel for the night and spend some time working on it later. So here I am, just finding some more pieces. Really good turquoise. And that's pretty much how my day and a half went. Just want to show you what this guy looks like. There's the top. Like I said, you can't really get an appreciation. What looks like flecks of turquoise is really the top of a vein underneath the rust. There you can see that other vein. As I clean that off a little bit more, you can see that a little bit better. This thing is still full of some beautiful turquoise. So it is possible to find some good things out there, but you got to be prepared to do some work and have the right tools for it. But if you don't, and all you do is go through the pile, trust me, if you put in the work, you will not be disappointed. So I broke up the rock, and here's pretty much the useful shards that I took home from it. I figure I probably got a couple years worth of turquoise out of this, maybe a lifetime. Look at that dark blue on the top left. Beautiful. Green there in the center left, up top. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't believe what a wonderful time I had out there. It more than fulfilled my expectations, obviously. No one should go anywhere expecting to find this quality and much of turquoise. It just doesn't happen. So I came back, did a quick cut of some of the nuggets and things that I found. You can take a look at it there. Some of them are the green to blue, which Royston is most famous for. A lot of the beautiful matrix in there. And then here's one of the shards of the big boulder that I took off that I wanted to cut up for this video to give you a look. Boy, if I can find the rest of this turquoise and it's all in there, some bigger pieces, I'm going to be real happy. But first I want to see how well it cuts, or even if my old trim saw can do the job. That is very hard stone. But take your time, let the trim saw do the work, and it just cut right through it. So I put a backing on it and then cut it up the next day. And there it is. What a gorgeous piece of a great sample of Royston turquoise. I want to thank my owner, Danny Otteson, for allowing me and others like me to come out and collect our own turquoise. You just can't do that hardly anywhere else in the world these days. Thanks to Tom and my new friends. I had a great day. It was a wonderful birthday. And thank all of you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care. And as always, I am enjoying retirement.